My parents said, "We'll help you take care of it," when I got pregnant at 15, then kicked me out the day I brought my baby home from the hospital. 7 years later, they showed up at my daughter's school in a Mercedes, started donating playground equipment and paying for field trips, then sued me for custody, claiming I was an unfit mother for raising her in a studio apartment while working night shifts at a diner. When I was 15, I had a boyfriend, and just like every other 15-year-old girl in the world, my boyfriend was toxic. Like, scream at you for interacting with a male teacher, then go through your phone toxic. So when he caught me going to the hospital to visit my godfather without telling him, he was determined to punish me. He told me the only way he'd let me get away with it was if I let him pop my cherry with no rubber. He said that would prove that I loved him, and I would have said no. But the anger in his eyes made me too scared of what would happen if I dared to refuse. So I said yes. Long story short, I got pregnant and never saw him again. I wish that was an exaggeration, but he blocked me on everything and transferred to a school across the country. I was so freaked out that I told my parents as soon as I found out. "We'll help you take care of it," was the first thing my mom said. Meanwhile, my dad just nodded quietly. I don't know why I believed them, but I did. And their words were the only reason I didn't get a baby unalive, because no one else wanted to come near me anymore. The entire school was calling me a W word, and they had spread rumors about Emmy trying to baby trap my ex-boyfriend. So I dropped out. All I had was my parents and everything they gave me, until I gave birth. Because instead of coming home to baby Anna's nursery, I came home to all of my stuff packed up into bags. I swear I thought they were pranking me, but then my mom said, "We're not cleaning up the mess you made." I looked over to my dad, who stood there with his arms crossed. "But I thought you said," "We just said that so you wouldn't terminate the pregnancy. But now we're done with you. Consider yourself disowned." I fell to the floor crying while baby Anna wept in my arms. I had nowhere to go, and instead of helping me drive somewhere, they retreated to their bedrooms and locked the door. I was shattered. That was my rock bottom. I ended up getting an Uber to my Aunt Becky's house, and she took me in. As soon as she showed me the bedroom, I crawled right in and fell asleep. I was still in the post-pregnancy state, and life felt like it was doomed. I woke up the next morning at 4:30 a.m. to Becky shaking me awake. "If you're staying here, then you have to follow the rules," was all she said before handing me a sweeping brush. "You have to do your fair share of everything. 2 hours of house chores minimum. You have to cook me 5 dinners a week. Showers are 5 minutes long max. And most importantly, if your baby wakes me up more than once in a week, I will kick you out." Well, it was either Aunt Becky's house or the streets. So I just nodded, ready to accept my new life of modern-day slavery. The next few years of my life were as bad as you'd expect. Every time Anna cried at night, adrenaline would pump through my blood, and sometimes I even had to sit with her in the front garden during winter. And Aunt Becky abused me in every way possible, so much so that it reminded me of my ex-boyfriend, and I only had one lifeline: a job at a 24-hour diner where the manager, Rosa, let me bring Anna during night shifts. She'd sleep in the break room while I served coffee to truckers and studied for my GED between orders. The day Anna turned 4, I finally had enough saved: $1,200 and a promise of a studio apartment from Rosa's cousin. I packed our things while Becky was at work. Not that there was much to pack. Anna's drawings, the teddy bear Rosa gave her, my GED certificate. That studio apartment was 400 square feet of heaven. On our first night, Anna and I ate McDonald's on the floor and she said, "Mama, can we be loud here?" When I nodded, she squealed at the top of her lungs, then looked at me with wonder when no one yelled at us. That's when they showed up. I was at a pickup, helping Anna carry her solar system project to the